2025, the share of fast-growing apartments in Dubai dropped by half. Making a mistake has never been easier, and those who don't know the market well risk being disappointed with their profits. But this video will help you avoid almost all the mistakes. We squeezed complex investing frameworks into just 3 simple questions. So let me walk you through them. Starting with question number 1, am I deciding on facts or on marketing? Let's play a game. I'll give you reasons to buy a property, and you label them, either facts or marketing BS. Let's start with the brochure. You see AI-generated interiors, happy residents, and rooftop pool renders. They have just one purpose: to sell. If you're investing to make a profit, pretty much ignore the pictures. They go to marketing BS. If you actually want to know how good the property is gonna be, forget the pictures. Focus on facts. And those are quality of already delivered buildings and the construction costs. Even if it's a new developer, when they register a project with the DLD, which is the Dubai Land Department, they report the construction costs. You can compare those between projects and see if someone's cutting costs on materials. Now let's talk about developer reputation. Several huge, well-marketed, well-known developers performed well below the market. Some projects even declined in value while the market was actively growing. So what actually matters is the developer's track record. How much do they grow after construction? Do they deliver on time? Unfortunately, there is no single government-backed source for this. The data is scattered across different websites. So we built a tool our team uses internally to assess every developer. It shows their growth during construction, performance after delivery, and whether they hand over on time. We're now sharing it for free. So scan the QR code, click the link below the video, and someone from my team will send it over. Next, guaranteed return claims. Some developers offer 10% guaranteed ROI. By ROI, they mean rental return. That's obviously marketing. In most cases, 10% is gross, before charges, and the charges are really high. Developers often don't commit legally to those returns, and mathematically, they aren't realistic. 8% guaranteed rental return often turns out to be 7% net yield. 12% guaranteed return may be 10% cash back. Always read the terms and run the numbers. Next, discounts. Some developers actively give away discounts because a certain type of buyer believes that without a discount, it's not a good deal. In reality, discounts are often a marketing technique. A developer spends less on construction, but prices the units as high as competitors. Then they offer huge discounts, so the deal looks great. The real fact to consider is the price gap versus a ready alternative. If the off-plan property you're looking at is priced lower than a comparable ready unit, then that's a genuinely good price. It doesn't have to be in the same area. For new developing areas, compare prices to more established locations. That gives you an idea of what your resale price could look like mid to long term. And of course, plenty more things belong in the marketing BS column. Views of the landmark tower that doesn't exist, European quality in Dubai, a metro station nearby that hasn't been officially announced yet. You got the idea. And when you filter all that out and make your decision based on facts, your assessment comes down to question number 2. After all costs I paid and everything I will potentially get back, am I actually making profit and how much? When you ask yourself this question, you probably expect the property to go up in value. The uncomfortable truth is that it often doesn't happen as fast as you want, and at the specific moment you'd love to sell, it might be a bad market phase. So to make sure things work until the right selling moment comes, focus on rental economics first. If the cash flow makes sense, you can afford to wait for the value to appreciate. Let me show you the back of the envelope way to run these numbers. First, your acquisition costs. For off-plan, is the property price plus 4.1%. 4% go to the Dubai Land Department as a one-time registration fee you pay with a down payment. 0.1% covers small admin fees. If you're buying on the secondary market, add 2.1% for agency commission, including VAT. And if you use a mortgage, there are more costs. Mortgage registration at 0.25% of the loan, bank valuation, that's roughly up to $1,000 or 3,500 dirhams, and the processing fee, up to 1% of the loan. Altogether, the extra day one costs for a ready unit with a mortgage around 7 to 8% of the property price. So down payment plus initial costs are roughly 27 to 28% for residents. Then you estimate returns. Get the expected rental rate first. Find the closest comparable ready properties and use their rent as a benchmark. Even if the property you're looking at is better and rents in Dubai have been growing, use the conservative number. Better to underestimate than to be surprised. Then deduct service charges. A normal rate in Dubai now is roughly 14 to 18 dirhams per square foot. That's for apartments, and for houses it's 4 to 5 dirhams per square foot. And don't forget vacancy. I'd assume that 1 month per year the apartment is empty. So if your rent to price ratio is 7%, plan for a net rental yield of around 5.6 to 5.7%. And once the cash flow makes sense, you can start thinking about value appreciation. And for that, we have question number 3. If I sell my unit within 2 to 5 years, will it be highly demanded? This is simple but a bit counterintuitive. Off-plan and ready markets in Dubai are two completely different markets. Different supply, different demand, different buyer profiles. I'll walk you through the filters we apply when we help investors assess their potential investments, so you could do the same by yourself. But if you'd rather have this done for you, drop us a message. We're a real estate advisory and brokerage firm in Dubai. We base all recommendations on financial analysis, data, and on-the-ground facts. So if you want UAE real estate advice tailored to your investment goals and budget, and if you need support throughout the whole investment journey, reach out to us. There is a WhatsApp link in the description, or you can scan the QR code. Now let's get back to filters you need to apply to assess the investment potential. First is supply competition. How many units will be completed around the same handover date? Take GVC. It's on track for more than 80,000 units by around 2030. When an investor tries to sell, thousands of near identical units are listed at the same time. For most of the apartments in this area, price becomes the only lever left. The product is almost identical across the whole community. Only a few projects really stand out. But it's not just about the area. Even in the good location, the size of the project itself matters. I've seen mega developments with over 10,000 units, where the price between the construction start and handover barely moved. When a single project floods its own micro-market with supply, it doesn't matter how popular the area is. The big number of identical units keeps prices flat. Filter number 2, product market fit. Does the unit match what real end users in that area actually want? Buying small studios where the natural buyers want large family homes limits your appreciation potential. Palm Jumeirah is a good example in a way. There are studios there, but main buyer profile looks for large family homes. Filter number 3. Does the unit have something a competing seller doesn't? It can be a view, it can be a rare layout. Because if every unit in the building is identical, the only edge left is cutting the price. Let me give you an example of what genuine scarcity looks like. Shivala Residences on Island B of Dubai Islands. It's a boutique project on the first beach row with private beach access. That alone puts it in a very rare category. But it will also be managed by a global hospitality brand. All apartments come fully designed, fully furnished, and fully serviced. Up until now, there has been nothing like that on Dubai Islands. And that's the final filter. So from that you can tell that avoiding mistakes is important, but it's not enough. Finding exceptional opportunities that outperform the market takes much more. And if you want to learn about one of those opportunities, check out this video.